great day, great afternoon, great night. Just a great time in general when you're watching this video. Doing a review on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Honestly, so when I first saw this trailer, it was with my friends and I. We had just seen Spider-Man No Way Home, and this was the post-credit scene, was the trailer for this movie. And when we saw it, we were literally at McDonald's just sitting there like dissecting the trailer for I think an hour and a half after we had seen the movie, just trying to figure out what the movie was even going to be about, who was going to be the villain. And when you're watching the trailer, it is completely nothing. Well, there's snippets of what happens in the movie in the trailer, but like nothing that we basically came up with happened in the movie. It was all completely random and weird. But here's the thing. The other script that we found out was the OG script, which I'm going to talk about here, because I found screenshots of it and stuff like that so I could talk about it, is what we literally talked about in the McDonald's. We were talking about this. I'll get to it in a second. But I wanted to give it a brief overview of the movie. For my little 1 out of 10s and shit like that, I think for an overall Marvel movie, it's probably a 3 or a 4, because a lot of it is really to me personally, it's a lot of just fan servicing or just answering questions in other movies and things like that. And it's honestly, I wanted to see more magic because there was so much magic characters, but then they all of a sudden were just doing there is multiverses in the title, but I was expecting it to be stuff more pertaining to the magical multiverse and not just the literal multiverse, because it starts going into other multiverses, and I'm just okay, well, I guess I thought about this wrong. I would say though, if you take out just the fact that it's a Marvel movie, it's actually a pretty good movie, in my opinion. If you just cut out the Marvel aspect, everything else is actually pretty decent, from the fight scenes, even though they're kind of just flashy, just the comedy is pretty funny sometimes. I will say there are a ton of cringy moments, but if you just cut out those, it's still a pretty good movie. Cool shit happens in it. We get to see more magic than we have before from Strange. It's about 2 hours and 8 minutes, and you're sitting there for all that time. Trust me, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to talk about everything that happens from beginning to end, or at least the most notable things to talk about pretty much. And it came out in 2022, so it's kind of an old movie. I figured I'd mention it, as I said in my WandaVision review, because I want to do Agatha all along as well, and this movie has to do with Agatha all along a little bit. You'll see when I get to that review. Before I read the original script, the writer, and this is one of the big reasons and why I retorted so much, because it's so insane to me that that's how I even remember it. Hopefully no one notices the drastic change, but I always retort this because it's so crazy to me. It's the fact that the director/writer only saw the first 20 minutes of Doctor Strange, had WandaVision retold to him, and basically knew a general gist of the universe. That's it. And when I was told that, I was what the fuck? How? But I will say, when you watch this movie and you go into it knowing that knowledge, you can actually see that, yeah, that's how that all played out, because it only mentions Dr. West and Christine Palmer. Doctor Strange and her have this weird relationship, versus the last time we were seeing each other, they were actually on better terms. So that's, one thing to also point out. It's very frustrating. It's a frustrating movie, but if you take out the Marvel part, it's actually pretty decent. We'll get to it. It's really dumb. But I'm going to pull it up on my phone here. The X-Men 97 writer, Bo DeMeo, I think is how you pronounce that, has revealed the OG Multiverse of Madness storyline. Look what they stole from us. That's what I have down. Correct, OG drafts did her justice. Wanda was with Strange, recovering after Westview, feeling bad about what she did. She helps him, Wong, and Chavez, who she tutors, beat Nightmare across Multiverse, where she sees her variants happy with her kids. See how much better of a movie already? Still, Wanda resists, and she, not Chavez, helps Strange save the day against Nightmare, who turns to be a Darkhold corrupted Strange variant. Also, she used her experiences in WandaVision to warn Chavez about abusing her power. Only after saving the day, unable to resist finding a multiverse where she can be with her kids, does Wanda, sobbing, break from Strange and accidentally beheads Wong, who tries to stop her from fleeing into the multiverse. That was film's cliffhanger. Made far more sense even when she flees. Wanda is torn up by guilt in classic comic book fashion, and she keeps apologizing to Strange as she vanishes and leaves him with his dead friend's body. Already a better movie. And literally everything but the Wong death we all talked about. Because when you watch the trailer, it looks like Bad Strange, and it looks like he is going to Wanda to get help from her, and America is just happening upon this path because her powers are activating. Like, quite literally, that is what we talked about. And then this movie came out, and we were like, what the fuck is this? Like, genuinely, we're all sitting together, and we all looked at each other, and we're just like, what? And me, because I'm a big Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch nerd, like, there were some fan servicey moments that I definitely liked, but I also was just kind of like, what the fuck is happening in this movie? This is all just like comical stupid shit, and I wish I had a movie. We're gonna get into talking about the movie. Pretty much the synopsis of the movie is Wanda is the quote-unquote bad guy of this movie trying to get America's powers. That's the whole thing of the movie. You're welcome. And you can stay for the rest of this, but that's pretty much the whole synopsis of the movie. So it starts with America and another Strange running away from this giant monster-y creature trying to get to a glowing book. We find out later that this is the Book of Vishanti. I feel very disrespected when I was watching this. This is one of the other reasons why it dropped so much lower for me, because we get so many hints of Vishanti and Nishanti and different magical creatures within the magic side of the Marvel Universe in this movie, but that's it. Like, we get Chthon, I think is how you pronounce his name, which is the demon that gave Wanda her powers in the comics. And honestly, like I said, it just drops lower because I know nothing is going to really come from this, and it's so annoying. It was something that also happened in WandaVision and kind of happens in Agatha all along too. They just throw a bunch of shit out and we're never going to get more from it because they'd rather focus on all the other superheroes than magic ones. Getting back to it, they're in this like chase to try and get to this book, and the creature ends up wounding Strange. They can't really get to the book, and Strange tries to take her powers. And honestly, why? Like, I get his thing of like he can use her powers better, but honestly, they were at a point to where when he was finally even taking them, like as the quote-unquote last resort, I think we were already past the last resort, in my opinion. Like, literally, when he finally starts taking it, he's wounded. He has, like, it's already breaking out of the enchantment. Like, he's fucked. But yet still, he tries to take her powers and ends up dying still. At least he helps America get away. That's basically the only upside. While he is flipping into this portal, though, that America pops open, she can transport herself through the multiverse, but she can't control it unless she's scared. We will find that out in a little bit, and I'll talk about it more when we get there. He basically flips into a waking nightmare dream for regular Strange, our universe Strange, where he gets ready for a wedding, Christine Palmer's wedding, the woman that he was infatuated with in the Doctor Strange movie and always talks about in the comics and everything like that. And it's one of the things, additionally, that you can definitely tell from him only seeing 20 minutes of the movie, their little dynamic that they have in the wedding. And something else that happens in the wedding is the Doctor he kind of pseudo-humiliates in the first 20 minutes of the Doctor Strange first movie is Dr. West, and he brings up like that his cats died and his brother died, and I genuinely was like, dude, way more people than just your circle died. Like I want, like, everyone's deaths and shit are important, but genuinely you are looking at the guy that saved more people from dying than that did die, and just taking a piss on him for no reason. It's what happened. It's very annoying. He did his fucking best, and he's not a soldier that makes amazing decisions. I mean, even soldiers don't make amazing decisions all the time. But people do what they have to do, and the fact that this guy is just, like, being an asshole, it's like, you go train for a bunch of years and then put your life on the line for a bunch of people. If you're not gonna do that, then why are you being such a dick? Maybe that was too much of a rant, but whatever. During Christine's wedding, apparently America phased herself all the way into our Strange's universe, and this creature is coming after her. It kind of looks like a squid type thing, and it's actually they actually put on Elizabeth Olsen's eye onto the little creature that's attacking her, and this little eye creature almost gets America a couple of times. Then Wong appears, and they fight, and they finally kill the thing, and then they confront America, and here's where we learn that dreams take you into your multiverse self, basically. They connect you to other parts of the multiverse. We learn that Doctor Strange and Wong still remember Spider-Man. We also learn that Strange isn't the Supreme anymore since he, got turned to dust. And we learn more about the Book of Ashanti. I already talked about that. It's basically the Darkhold antithesis, but we're not going there. It's such a stupid concept that happens. It's the quote-unquote MacGuffin for the whole movie, but it's honestly not even that great. Also, one of the other dumb things that is a big thing throughout this whole movie is America has the same ability that the Sling Ring does, but she can't control it. But for this movie, because the guy didn't watch the rest of the Doctor Strange movie, doesn't know that the Sling Ring doesn't just take you places that are on Earth. It also can travel the rest of the multiverse. That's one of the big things of this movie too. I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, there's a thing during the fight that's really dumb that I wanted to point out, is randomly a guy runs a motorcycle up to the creature and it throws it. He should have stopped a long time ago. Like, why are you running towards a giant creature? You can't be that blind. In New York City, no. I refuse. While talking with America, they then start talking about the runes, which leads them to witchcraft, which then introduce or brings us to Wanda. Doctor Strange here, though, either knows he's already under the hex because he makes a comment about it, or is just already precautious about her. And I love the moment where she starts talking, and you can just see on Strange's face that he's like, fuck Wanda, like, why? Like, why did... Because he already had a little bit of a suspicion that she may have been doing it, because he didn't know anyone else that really did witchcraft, just really her. And walks up to her and is like, I never told you her name. And she's like, no, fuck. Yeah, it's just a funny moment. Then after they kind of talk for a little bit, she kind of tries to get him to just hand America over. But of course he's not going to do that. So they have a little threat moment. She goes away. They go back, and we get a Scarlet Witch lore drop, basically, for this little part. Then she finally appears, and there's this huge fight. And she honestly, because I was watching this with my roommate, she even noticed, she doesn't even look like she's trying that hard. Like, or even trying to kill them. And then once they started really attacking her is when she finally was like, okay, now I'm killing you. Like, you shot me with a fucking rocket, now you die. Like, I didn't want to do this, now I'm killing you. Like, straight up. And then she goes into this mirror dimension trap, which honestly is another annoying thing, because Strange can just bring people into the mirror dimension, but because this guy didn't watch the movie longer, he didn't know that. It's so dumb. The little fight ends with, what's her name? With America pulling Strange well, technically just herself, but Strange dives into her, the cloak gets torn up, and they go through a bunch of multiverses and get turned into a bunch of different versions of themselves throughout the multiverse. It's weird and cool. Oh, the universe that they end up finally going on is like my perfect universe. There's green foliage everywhere. It's kind of skyscrapery, and the clouds are literally fucking rainbow. It is like utopia to me, and like you can walk everywhere. It's great to me. So America and Strange start looking for other Strange, while Wanda and Wong start basically doing other shit. Wanda starts dreamwalking to try and get to them in another universe, while they go and find the Sanctum Sanctorum. I think that's what it is in this universe too. They find Mordo, then they find the Illuminati. Like, they get into this whole mess, and it starts spinning into other Doctor Strange was evil. They start learning more things about the Illuminati, the fact that we start basically just getting a bunch of lore drop about characters we're never going to see. Like, straight up, that's what I call the mid part of this movie. Like, I wanted to go more into it, but basically the mid part of this movie is just a lore drop on the other Strange, the Darkhold, different spells in the Darkhold, Chthon, how the Darkhold was made, the Illuminati, and just stuff like that, and Wanda going on a rampage, trying to go for the Book of Ashanti, finally getting it, and then the ending part is Strange. So I didn't see which part my camera cut out on, so I'm just going to give a last little piece. This movie is worth the watch if you like Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, because they're really just the main focus of the movie. Really, if you just want to see Scarlet Witch do a bunch of flourishy shit, that's really if you want to see this movie. But otherwise, you can totally skip this movie. We're really never going to get anything from it, but it's a fun watch. I think it's decent enough, but you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. Nothing's going to come from it. That's really it for me. That's really it for me, guys. Peace, guys.